Red, red Indies. Shuffle, shuffle.
Rocking listeners, this is Nipa on Super Hits 93.5 Red FM, and welcome back after the break to this first hour of the show. So, yes, today we are speaking with Mathangi Jagdish, the singer, songwriter, performer, all the way from Bangalore, and she just recently released her 3-track EP called Major Troubles and Minor Blues. And, well, let's go speak more with Mathangi. Yeah, without further ado, congratulations on your EP, Major Troubles and Minor Blues.
Thank you very much.
So it just came out on the 3rd of July. Tell us about it. What are the 3 tracks about? The whole EP, are they connected songs?
Yes, it is a body of work that is connected. Just kind of to give a history, so I was part of Coke Studio Season 1, which came out in 2011. I also kind of did a bunch of gigs with Coke Studio.
Wow.
And it was in the very last gig towards the end of 2011, beginning of 2012. Around that time, what I thought was an itchy throat actually ended up snowballing into me losing my voice completely. So I always think that that's like one of those. It was like the worst time to lose my voice at that point of time. But in hindsight, I really feel that it was a very important moment in my life, because when you kind of don't have a voice and then you're still wondering what's going on and what's the issue, why it happened, and things like that. A lot of that stuff actually led to the songwriting. So the songwriting began in the real sense in 2013, so it's been that 10 years. And I'm very excited about this EP because it is 10 years of my work on myself more than anything else. I think of course it has to do with the songwriting and how I'm expressing myself and figuring out who I am and things like that. But I think it's the inner churning and the personal development work which also shows in the artist that has been a bigger thing for me. And I'm very excited about this EP because it is definitely 10 years of work in that sense of the word.
Mm-hmm.
But also the fact that this was the stuff that I was itching to put out first. And it took a while because that's not the kind of work that I do in film. And all these years, I've been singing largely in Tamil or maybe other southern languages. I am from Delhi, so Hindi is very comfortable for me as well. So those are the languages I've been singing in, not in English at all. So I actually I kind of literally went underground for 3 years in between 2013 and 2016, and I worked with coaches in India and abroad, and I wanted to understand what I would sound like in English.
Mm-hmm.
I think that took a while.
Mm-hmm.
Although it's my thinking language and it's probably among the 3 languages that I do speak, this is probably the most comfortable language, but I hadn't sung in it. That was not the stuff I was doing. Professionally, that's not the language I was using.
Yes.
And then I really wanted to understand what it is for me to write in English and sing in English, because a lot of the stuff that I was writing was pouring out in English. So I wanted to understand it deeper and better and what my sound was. And that took a while. So I wanted to figure that out before anything else. I was constantly writing and working on my thing. I was showing my work to people that I really trusted, and then I worked on the songwriting and things like that. So now we are here at a point where this stuff is actually out. When I started, I didn't think there was going to be anything. I just allowed it to pour. But as I fell in love with songwriting over the years, I also landed up doing a grade 8 in musical theatre and a grade 8 in pop vocals with an edge in jazz. And that's from London College of Music. So I did all of that quietly underground just to understand what it was about and if I wanted to do this at all.
That's really super cool.
Yeah, so it's very interesting. So I don't have a degree in music. I have a bachelor's in business management and a master's in communications. So this is the first time I was actually working with someone to actually write exams or prepare for them or prepare for a practical work.
Mm-hmm.
I'd never done that before. So I was doing this like way into my 30s, and everybody around me who were giving exams were 12 and 14, and that was real fun. So I really felt I was kind of going back into student mode, and I loved it because it was really allowing me to do the kind of work that I was like, I wish I'd done this in my 20s when I was beginning my playback career. But yeah, okay, better late than never. So I really felt that allowed me to understand what my sound is and who am I about and what's the kind of stuff that I actually like to write. What am I itching to say?
Mm-hmm.
And they all landed up being all these. It just very naturally landed up being things. Coming to a very long drawn answer to a very short question, is the stuff that is there in the EP, which is stuff that's either bothered me or made me want me to pull my hair out or it's that headspace that I've written the stuff in. That's one of the major connecting points in all 3 songs of the EP. So the title itself is Major Troubles and Minor Blues. It is a little quirky. My songs are called Singing Like a Pendulum, Salt in My Kitchen, and Mr. Procrastination. Again, not very regular titles, but they really represent the frame of mind in which I've written them, in the sense that something that I'm looking towards a solution, or something that's bothered me, something that's troubling me. It might seem minor, but it is a major trouble for me. So that's where the whole title comes from. Mm-hmm. And also there are big elements of jazz and blues in it as well. So yeah, and I think that so if there is a trouble with, like, Salt in My Kitchen at its core is this whole tug of war internally, where you really want to do something that you love, or that's the stuff that you want, but your life is pulling you away to do other things which also can't be ignored. Now, this could be house chores, it could be a leaking ceiling, which happens to me very often, surprisingly. Or it could be pigeon shit in my balcony, which I'm trying to scrape off, apparently it's toxic. So there's all of that, and I'm like, this is the stuff that drives me nuts, and this is the stuff I want to write. And so it took me a while to really understand, do people write songs like this? So I was like, okay, but maybe I want to write a song about that. Or my idli batter that wouldn't dry, then I had to kind of get rid of the whatever. And all my idlis were rising conically, and I couldn't figure why my cooking was so bad. And this is stuff that we all probably faced in the pandemic as well.
Yes.
Like, we had to do our own stuff, and not all of us are great at a lot of the things that we do. Maybe we're not interested in it, or we aren't good with it. We'd rather do something else.
I know.
In my case, for example, I would rather write a song, and I'd rather do something crafty. Yeah, so I think all of us have things that we really want to do, but then there are other things that do need to get done. They are important. You don't want to care about them, but you care about them. It's basically that. So you'll hear that in the song. It sounds like a rant, but it's really about, it's that dichotomy that, there are things that have to give attention to, but sometimes there is a lot of other stuff that needs to get done. So yeah, and then you're like, why do I have to do this?
I swear. I'm very relatable the way you're talking. I mean, these are things we go through every day. We may put up a very happy face in front of everyone, but then there's so much we are going through every day, right from the moment we wake up to the time we go to bed. So, and everything we have to deal with. It's not like we can get away without dealing with them. So things like that. So totally relatable. And I think let's start off by listening to one of the songs. Which one should we listen to first?
Since I spoke about Salt in My Kitchen, maybe we can play that first.
Alright, Salt in My Kitchen. Friends, enjoy it. It's by Mathangi Jagdish. And we'll speak more with her in the second hour of the show, so don't go anywhere. Enjoy her song on 93.5 Red FM. It's rocking.
I don't wanna care if there's no salt in my kitchen, if that mess on my balcony is a crow or a pigeon. All I wanna do is write my song, 'cause it's been